Right folks, John Mayer's album is finally out and 80s guitar tones are very much back in fashion. But let's take a closer look today at what makes them so fantastic. Hello folks, this is Jack from Peach Guitars and welcome to a little bit of a celebration today. We finally get to hear the new tracks that John Mayer has been teasing us with and working away on for the past several years, I believe. It's been a long time coming. It's been very interesting that the tracks have come out one by one so far. We've heard singles and each one has had a very different kind of character to it. But bar none, the one that caught every guitar player on the planet's attention was the most recent track, Last Train Home, which is old news by this point. You'll have seen it covered by hundreds, if not thousands, of different guitar players and musicians on the internet, and of course heard John play it himself. I think the thing that really captivated most people's attention, aside from the, in my opinion, excellent 80s production, was that guitar tone. That was a tone that we haven't heard for a very long time, and I know that resident Clapton and Knopfler expert Joel Fisk here at Peach Guitars, who you may have seen recently on the channel, delving into some Clapton and Knopfler tones, remarked that it was nice to hear that tone come back again, even if we maybe have heard it before. But there's this whole realm of mystique around what actually makes up that sound. Why did John Mayer choose to go in this slightly different direction that he hasn't done before? And I think it's fair to say that whether you like it or you don't, it's fresh and it's interesting that it's come back again. It's something that guitar players have maybe shied away from a little bit in the past, maybe because we all had this perception that it was unobtainable. It was previously associated with all those realms of rack gear and very expensive boutique bits of kit. But actually, you know, guitar players have proven in trying to recreate those sounds, it's quite easy to get if you have the right approach. So in this video, I'm not trying to do a step-by-step recreation of the guitar sound. I'm not even going to claim that I'm getting close to it. I just want to try and get in the ballpark and the kind of the mindset of what makes up that tone. I want to answer the question, or ask it of you in fact, why is it so good? Why do we like that sound so much? And how can you achieve it? So, the larger part of this video really is just a celebration of Mayer's new album. I haven't heard it yet. As of the time of recording, it's still unreleased, but it's going to be very interesting to delve into the rest of the tracks and see if this 80s guitar direction kind of carries on throughout the theme of the rest of the tracks. But anyway, all we've got to work on so far is that Last Train Home guitar sound. And I tried to get in the ballpark, not with the very hotly talked about, much debated Soldano that was seen in the back of his music video, which is obviously an homage to Clapton and Knopfler, those 80s guys that were using those amps in the Forever Man video and stuff like that. You see them all over the place. So I think that was just a little bit of a red herring maybe. I don't personally see that that was necessarily the tone that was used, because when you saw him play it live on the Jimmy Kimmel show a couple of weeks after, the Soldano was nowhere to be seen. Now that's just speculation, that's just my take on it, but I think you actually get closer, surprisingly enough, with a big clean amp like he's known to use in the past, and some great mid-frequency rich pedals. So that's the avenue that I'm going down today. Let me walk you through what the tone is that you're going to be hearing in this video. Okay, so signal chain going from the amp back to the guitar. We've got the 2 Rock silver sterling signature, which is John here at Peach's own amp. It sounds monstrous. I've never really had the chance to properly play one of these amps, apart from the last time we did one of these John Mayer themed gear videos, and I really fell in love with just how powerful this sound is. You don't have to use every little drop of this amp's power, but it's just great to know that it's there in reserve for you, and it means that when you add pedals to the mix and you go for the intricacies and the nuances, exploring those in the guitar's tone, the amp is just there ready to throw it all back out at you in the most kind of crystal clear kind of a way. So that's the platform to today. There's some reverb on board. The fabled chorus that everyone seems to be talking about, in my opinion, is not just a pedal into an amp, as everyone seems to think it is. Knowing John Mayer and knowing the incredibly expensive and elaborate recording processes that he's probably going through, that is at least rack gear or studio grade, post-production kind of effects, if nothing else. So I don't think there's any pedals at play, but I'm getting my closest to that with the Line 6 HX effects with a bit of dimension chorus, a little bit of an analog delay as well for a bit of that extra modulating kind of vibe, and a little bit of space. Now the gain tones, this is what I think most people are finding it most interesting to see how these tones kind of came about. I'm using just a couple of pedals. They happen to be a couple of the newest King Tone pedals. I'm using the Heavy Hand, which is the left side of the Duelist pedal that we know and love, and I've used a ton here on the channel. And I'm also using the King Tone Soloist, which is the other side. The reason I'm using the two pedals as opposed to just the Duelist by itself is these individual pedals have way more tone shaping ability. So I think this is quite important. I'm using the Heavy Hand as very much the basis of the tone to try and emulate those Dumble or Soldano, if you like, kind of approximations of just a big, bold amp tone. And the Soloist is what is providing the chunk of mid-rich gain. And last thing in the chain is maybe something that people don't expect, but once again fitting with those high production value kind of tonal elements. Right at the start of the chain, I've got the fantastic Origin Effects Cali 76 Compact Deluxe compressor, which isn't adding heavy compression, but part of the smooth, sustained nature of that tone, people often forget, comes from really high-grade compressors, whether it be studio rack bits of gear or just fantastically high-quality pedals like this one. So that's the chain. Let's hear how it all comes together step by step. I'm going to add each thing on at once so you can hear the effect that it actually has on the whole tone. Okay, and the last thing to talk about obviously are the guitars. Now, it's no secret anymore that that very cool hot pink Silver Sky that he's seen playing in the music video and in live performances is now a reality. You can get one for yourself. I don't know how limited those things will be, how many will be produced, but it's safe to say that it's going to be the guitar of the rest of this year at least. Everyone's trying to get their hands on them. We've already, by this point of making this video, sold a bunch of them. But really, any Silver Sky will do the trick. They all have the same specs, the same pickups. It's really just down to the aesthetic and the kind of vibe that you want. So I'm just playing a couple of the previously limited edition Silver Skies in today's video. We've got the Nebula with the rosewood board, which is kind of closest to the spec of that new pink one. And we're also going to throw in the Lunar Ice with the maple neck, just for good measure, so you can hear the tonal difference between the two. So, as I said at the beginning, I wanted to do this video not just to sort of celebrate and mark the release of the album, but also to answer the question, why do guitar players go for this kind of a sound? Why is it so ear-catching? Why do we gravitate to it? I think it's actually a little bit more of a complex answer than you might think. You know, everyone just assumes it's that traditional kind of Strat style guitar with a tube screamer style pedal and a big, clean American style amp that makes up Mayer's tone, but obviously this is borrowing elements from other guitar greats of the past as well, and it's something that it almost has become cliche by this point, and I really think that is a shame because it's one of the most articulate and the most expressive and the most interesting guitar tones around. It's really caught so many people's attention because it's familiar yet different at the same time. There's not a whole lot going on, as you can tell. I mean, I'm just doing an approximation here today. I'm sure the recorded tone has many, many thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment going on that we haven't even touched on, but the heart of it is very much the same. It's all about the player and the touch that they have on the instrument, and these tools specifically work together really well. It's kind of like every little piece is like a Tetris puzzle, and it's all adding up in just the right shape, in just the right manner, and with just the right amount. There's not too much gain, there's not too much effect going on, there's not too much volume, there's not too much saturation, it's not too clean either, it's just all in the sweet spot. And it really means that the guitar is as vocal and as fundamental as the lead vocal or any other lead part of the song. So it's one of those things, it really depends on the music that you're using it for and trying to play with it, but I think when you get the right track and you get the right vibe, the guitar is as fundamental to the song as any other part of the music. So that's about it really, folks. I would like to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the song. By this point, I'm sure a lot of you will have heard the rest of the album, so let me know what you think. As I say, I don't know. I'm completely in the dark. The rest of the album might be a totally different, veered off direction, but whatever it was about this one track, Last Train Home, that caught so many guitar players' attentions, I think that is really the thing most people will be talking about. So let me know in the comments what you think, and also whether you think I happened to get close or not, or if you think I'm right at all with any of this analysis. If you've enjoyed this video and you've got something out of it, be sure to leave us a like down below. That would be much appreciated, and even more so, we would appreciate if you hit subscribe if you're new here, and ring the bell so you're notified when we post stuff in the future. So you can head to our website, peachguitars.com, by clicking the link down in the description below if you want to find out any more info about any of the gear that I've used in today's video. Hopefully I've explained what I'm using and what I'm using it for. And if you've just been missing out on one little piece of your rig that you want to either complete this tone, or you think something will be useful for another tone you're going for, you can find out all the info on all the products on our website. So thank you very much as always for watching, take good care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.